What's up, Tim?
What's up, Tom?
How are you? Good to see you.
Hey, bud.
All right. Well, welcome to Jamie Mullen's personal broadcast of Blues and Carshield. She's at home sick, so I'm here broadcasting for her. About ready to get underway. 20-minute periods, 2 scrapes tonight, so it'll be a long one. Wi-Fi's not great, cellular's even worse. If it breaks off at any point, I'll restart a new one. from there. All right, Marcus Johnson in net tonight. Blues will get started with Tillett, Groupie, Duncan, Stark, and Allman. Off one back into the blue zone. Allman up the near wall, tipped out by Duncan. That'll slide through center. Tillett after it. Carshield doesn't get that out. Groupie able to keep it in. He'll bank that low out near corner. Duncan over. Throws the body. Puck up the near wall. Kept it at the blue line by Allman. Now it'll come to center. Groupie. He'll send that back in. Knocked down by Carshield. Just inside their own blue line. They'll send it down low. Regroup behind their own net. Skated out far side. Carshield through center into the blue zone. They'll cut into the far circle. Backhander high over the net. Out the near side. Klukie's on. Puck sent down low. Allman back for it. Behind the net. Allman ahead. Puck tipped to Stocker. Now to Klukie's. He'll bring it through center across the blue line. Klukie's in. Puck poked away from him. He's on with Stocker and Van Tine, Carlson, and Mullen. Puck around far side. Stocker there. Tied up on the far wall. Klukie's comes in. Carshield not able to clear. Klukie's from the corner, sends it high. Mullen from the blue line. He'll move it near side. Carlson shot. Tipped down in front by Van Tine. Puck in the corner. Klukie's got a stick on it. Squirts out. Carshield has it. They'll push ahead through center. 3-on-3 into the blue zone. Shot from the top of the circle. Johnson traps that against his body. We get a whistle. 18:43 remaining in the first period. All right, Tillett, Tudor, and Blanchard. Tillett wins that back. Rose off the near glass, knocked down by Tudor. He'll chip it ahead. Blanchard picks that up, sends it in front. Swept away by Carshield. Now out the near side, LaRose keeps that at the blue line, fires it into the far circle. Glove down by Carshield. Push to center. Now LaRose from his own blue line, pass ahead off Tudor's stick. He knocks that back down through LaRose in his own zone. He'll go wide to George. Back to LaRose. Head through center. He'll dump it in from the red line. Puck into the far corner. Blues changing defense. Carshield sends that to center. Tudor to Allman. He'll flip it wide to LaRose. He'll chip that ahead. Puck will slide into the Carshield zone. They'll pick it up. Cook with pressure on the near side. He's out with Gissy and Gassoff. Puck up high. Allman. He'll send it down low. That'll rim around to the far corner. Gissy over. He's tied up. Now puck picked up by Gassoff. He's got it up high at the blue line. Now top of the near circle. Shot. Loose puck. Oh, whistle goes. Puck got behind the goalie. Gissy was there. Whistle went early. All right, Ecker, Duncan, and Groupie out with Stark and Allman. Face off on the near side. Ecker in to take it. He pulls that back. Duncan tips it to Allman. Allman to the near wall. He'll chip that low. Groupie bodies his man. Carshield picks up a loose puck. They'll move ahead to center. Now one-on-one. Stark back. Carshield fans on the shot. Now sends it towards the net. Swept wide by Johnson. Now off the near wall. Duncan ahead to Ecker. Ecker across the blue line. He'll go to the middle. Off Groupie's stick. Duncan not able to get a shot off. He's taken down. Penalty coming. Carshield will touch. Whistle will go. Blues will go on the power play. 17:15 remaining in the first. I'll zoom out just a hair here. All right, Klukie's, Van Tine, Stocker, Groupie, and Stark. Klukie's face off far side. Carshield wins that back. Sent up the near wall. Van Tine there. Pinches down. Klukie comes over to help. Van Tine sends it in front. Carshield knocks that down. Chips it up high. Glove down at the blue line by Stark. He'll send it ahead. Groupie from the corner. In front. Oh, handcuffs Van Tine. Banks off the near wall. Carshield comes back to center, 2-on-3. Across the blue line, cut to the middle, backhander on. Stick save Johnson. Carshield picks it up. They'll send it back low. Stark up the far wall to Stocker. He'll float it back over to Stark. Stark back to Stocker. Off his stick through center. Chase down the far wall. Stocker able to poke it low. Now, try to send it in front. Carshield got a stick on that. They'll come away to center. 1:15 remaining on the Blues power play. Carshield stood up by George. Johnson hands off to Van Tine. He'll take it behind his own net. Skated out the far side. Now ahead through center. Van Tine. He'll pull up far circle. Tried to send it in front. That hits a skate. Carshield can't clear. Blanchard tied up. Now Duncan. To George at the blue line. He'll set things up. Now to Blanchard. Far wall. Straight away George. Near side Tudor. Side of the net. Tillett looking in front. Now to George. Up high. Back to Tudor. Near circle. Shot. Blocker save. Puck behind the net. Cleared up the far wall. Blanchard sends it back down low. Carshield grabs that. Can't clear. Now they'll take it behind their own net. Bring it out the near side. Pass knocked down by Tillett. Kept in. Duncan with Blanchard. Duncan. Shot. Pass. Save. Rebound. Blanchard. Blanchard puts home the rebound off the pad. Puts the Blues up 1-0 with a power play goal. All right, Cook, Gassoff, Gissy, Mullen, and Ullman. Cook wins the face-off back, Ullman. To Mullen, up the far wall, tipped ahead by Gissy. Deep into the Carshield zone, they'll clear it up. The near wall, gets past Cook. Carshield overskates it. They recover, they'll skate the center. 3-on-2 across the blue line, Carshield in offside. Face-off will come back in front of the Blues bench. 15-18 remaining in the first. All right, Cook on the face-off. Carshield wins that back. They'll dump it in from the red line. Johnson stops it behind the net. Leaves it for LaRose. Up the far wall, Gissy. To Cook, he'll tip it to center. Carshield with it. Back ahead, turned over. Klukie's in, partial break. Klukie shot. Oh! And this tie and wide. Now Carshield clears that off the near wall all the way down. That'll go for an icing. All right, Klukie, Stocker, Van Tine, Carlson, and Mullen. Klukie wins that back. Carlson sends it to Stocker off his stick in the corner. He'll work it low now, trying to go to Klukie's. Tipped away by Carshield. They'll flip that to center. Carlson over to Mullen. He'll get the red line now, skated across the blue. Pull up on the far wall. Send it to Stocker, one time from the blue line. Blocker save, glove down by Klukie's, puck in front, cleared away by Carshield off the near glass all the way back into the blue zone. That'll go for another icing call. 14:29 remaining in the first period. 1-0 Blues. Blanchard from Duncan on the power play. Ecker, Duncan, Groupie. Carlson and Mullen now on. Ecker on the face-off. Tied up, loose puck on the dot. Ecker comes out with it in front off Duncan's stick. He's able to chip that low. Now Ecker behind the net, far side up the wall to Mullen from the blue line, near side. Carlson, his shot blocked to the far wall. Mullen over toward the net, stick save. Cleared up the near side by Carshield. Sent back in by Carlson. Now it's center, Ecker. Inside his own zone, he'll move it to Mullen. He'll just chip that ahead. Ooh, that'll go for an icing. Carshield might have been able to get a stick on that. I disagree. 13:55 remaining in the first. All right, Tillett, Blanchard, and Tudor. Stark and Allman face off to Johnson's left. Carshield wins that back. They'll take it to the corner. Trying to stuff it short side. That comes out to Tudor. Moves it ahead to Blanchard at center. 1-on-4 across the blue line. Waits for some help. Sends it to the middle. Carshield intercepts. Flips it off the near wall. Allman fell at the blue line. Able to keep it in with his hand. They'll call it a hand pass. All right, Carshield wins the face-off. He'll skate that to center, backhand that in from the red line. Johnson out, he'll stop it, send it up the near wall. Picked up by Tudor. To Tillett, 3-on-2. Puck whipped away by Carshield, comes back to center. They'll turn back up ice, now 1-on-1 across the blue line. Shot blocked by Allman into the far corner. Stark there, tips that ahead. Carshield with it in the corner. Moves it up the wall. Blanchard intercepts. Comes away with Tudor. Tudor across the blue line. Right up on the far wall. Carshield is ahead. That goes off of Gissy's leg. Cleared out by Carshield. Now George at center. He'll get the blue line. Shot from the top of the circle. Stick save. Puck into the corner. Carshield chips it behind the net. Pressure by Cook. Creates a turnover. Now Gissy from the corner. He'll bank it high. George pressure on him. Nice job to get rid of that into the near corner. Now Cook over. Carshield will send it around. That'll go up the far wall. Gissy gets there. His stick's lifted. He's able to keep it in. He'll move it to Gassoff in the far circle. Gassoff still with it. Poked away, puck on the wall. Carshield not able to escape now. Clears it to center. They'll backhand that into the blue zone, the Rose. Back for it in the far corner. Pressure coming, puck up high. Now sent in front, cleared away by George. Picked up by Gassoff. He goes off the near wall, that comes to center. Carshield with it, they'll fire that back in. Johnson, he'll leave it for George behind the net. Now near corner to Gassoff, the Rose ahead to Gassoff. Now Stocker through center with speed. Stocker, backhander, off the goalie's mask. Rebound picked up by Carshield. They'll skate ahead through center ice into the blue zone. Wide on Carlson, shot blocked wide by Carlson. Now up the far wall, tipped out Stocker. Not able to clear, flipped up high. Into the netting by Carshield. Face-off will stay inside the blue zone. All right, Kluge, Stocker, Vantine, Carlson, and Mullen. Face-off to Johnson's left. Puck to the far wall. Carlson tied up. Now it squirts out. Carshield shot gloved by Johnson. 11:35 remaining in the first period. All right, bouncing puck off the draw to the corner. Mullen there, tied up. Carshield able to flip that low. Now Carlson takes his man. Mullen behind the net. Hits the brakes, moves it far side. Stocker there. He'll bank that off the wall to... They're going to say that went into the bench. I thought it hit the linesman. Face-off will stay in the blue zone. All right, Tillett, Groupie, Duncan, Allman, and Stark. All right, Tillett wins that back. Stark, stick lifted, spins, gets it back. He'll go off the glass. Bouncing puck comes to center. Carshield, they'll send that back in shy of the red line. No icing call. Stark up the far wall. Groupie there. Not able to move it ahead. Carshield in the corner. Stark tied up. Ecker there, digging away. Carshield digs it out. Allman takes his man to the wall. Carshield player goes down, loses his stick. Now puck poked out by Stark. On the half wall, Groupie backhands that ahead, kept into the blue line. Now moved near side shot. Kicked out by Johnson. Makes a big hop off the end board, comes all the way out to the blue line. Allman down in front, net comes off. Whistle goes, we'll get another face-off in the blue zone with 10:35 remaining in the first. Blues up 1-0. Tillett, Tudor, Blanchard, LaRose, and George. Face-off to Johnson's right this time. Up to the near wall, sent low for LaRose. He'll bank that to center ice. Carshield sends it right back in. Plays offside. George has it behind his own net. He'll skate it ahead, now move it to Tillett across the blue line. Puck tipped away from him, now in the corner. Two Carshield players go down. Now up the far wall, Carshield with it. He'll clear that high all the way back into the blue zone. LaRose back for it behind his own net. Oh, poke to the puck. He goes down, able to chop it around near side. Carshield trying to sweep that in front. Comes up high, settled by Tudor. Hands off to Blanchard. At center, he'll dump that in. Blues changing. Carshield will pick it up off the near wall. Send it ahead at center, tipped into the blue zone. Mullen back for it behind his own net. He'll bring it out the near side, bank it off the wall to center. Off gas, off stick, back into the, that's off the Carshield stick, back into the blue zone. Also to bank that to center. Puck cleared back out by Carshield. They'll flip that into the blue zone. Carlson back for it. Up the near wall. Carshield jumps ahead, grabs that. Now along the near half wall. They'll move it down low into the circle. Shot blocked by Mullen. He'll pick that up out of the near corner. Elevated pass to center, knocked down by Gassoff. Carshield quickly back into the blue zone, near circle. Sharp angle shot, stick save. Rebound shot, pad save, and covered by Johnson. Whistle goes with 9:04 remaining in the first. Klukes, Vantine, and Stocker. Carshield wins the faceoff back. Broken up high, puck comes to center. Stocker tied up, across the blue line. They're gonna say offside now. Carshield, they'll move it wide. Bunny hop off the near wall. Allman there to break that up now. Across the blue line. Carshield recovers, they'll take it behind their own net. Out the far side, send it to center, off the skate. Stark over. He'll make it to the near wall, picked up by Vantine. He'll chip that ahead into the Carshield zone. Carshield sends that around, up the far wall, cleared off Stark into the Carshield bench. Whistle goes. Face-off will stay in the Carshield zone. 8:25 to play in the first. Ecker, Duncan, Groupie, LaRose, and George now on for the Blues. Carshield wins that back. They'll rip it up the near wall, kept in by LaRose. LaRose from the near wall, cross ice, nice pass to Groupie. Straight away, George, his shot knocked down in the slot. Carshield will come back. 3-on-3 through center across the Blues blue line. Shot well wide, banks out to the far wall, sent back high to the blue line. Pressured by Groupie. Now Carshield, top of the circle, shot blockered away by Johnson. Now sent down low to the corner, into the circle. Bouncing puck comes in front. Picked up by Groupie. He'll move it ahead off Duncan's stick, knocked down by Carshield. Groupie gets it back, across the blue line, takes a big hit. Carshield player goes down. Now puck moved wide. Carshield through center. They'll dump that in. That'll go all the way around far side, tipped by George up high, glove down by Carshield, sent to the corner. Rose ties his man up till it comes in. Carshield able to kick that out. Now Blanchard on the far wall. Puck picked up by Tillett. He'll flip it through center. That's going to slide down for another icing. 7:23 to play in the first period. right, Carshield wins the face-off back. Quick shot, knocked down by Blanchard. Carshield gets it back. They'll work it toward the corner. Mullen there, ties his man up against the wall, has the puck trapped with his skate. Leaves it for Tillett. Tillett now ahead to Tudor. Pressure on him. Puck kept in now from the far wall. Mullen blocks that pass. Carshield behind their own net. Knocked down by Tillett. Now Carlson ahead to Tudor. At center, Tudor. He'll slide that in down low. Blanchard in. Got a stick on it. Taken down behind the net. Carshield sends it up the far wall. They'll skate to center. Blues with numbers back. Drop pass. Top of the circle. Shot blocked. Knocked down by Carlson in front. Picked up by Cook. He'll go off the near glass. Puck at center. Carshield sends it to the near wall. Gassoff moves it ahead. Picked up by Cook. He'll gain the blue line. Now working to the near circle. Lays it down in the corner. Leave it for Gissy. Back to Cook. Bouncing puck. Carshield ties him up. Now Gassoff to Gissy on his backhand. Puck knocked away from him. That comes to center. Stark now. He'll able to backhand that in from the red line. Carshield will pick it up. Take it behind their own net and rim it up the far wall. Out to center. Poked away by Stark. Now Klukies. He'll pick that up. Work it down the near wall. Shot. That might have hit the goalie in the head. Now Stark shot from the blue line. Saved by the Carshield goalie. He'll squeeze that with 5:59 to play in the first. I think that's the second one off the goalie's head tonight. All right, LaRose and George now on defense. Kluki, Stocker, and Vantine up front. Face off on the far side. Carshield wins that back. And behind their own net, they'll float it high to center off LaRose's glove. Stocker got back, able to break that up. He'll track it down in the near corner. Take it behind his own net. Out the far side now, pass through center behind Vantine. That'll bank down for Blues icing. All right, face off to Johnson's left. Kluki's in. One back by Carshield. Near side, top of the circle, shot. That missed wide. Now Carshield, now that he'll move ahead, Stocker tips ahead to himself, 2-on-1 with Vantine through center. Across the blue line, wide to Vantine. Shot, oh, glove save. Ecker, Duncan, and Groupie now on. Rose and George will stay out. Face off on the near side. Ecker in. One back by Carshield off the near wall. Glove down by Duncan. He's knocked down. Ecker in to help. 3 Carshield players there. Whistle goes from behind. We'll get another face-off from the same spot. Carshield wins that back. They'll send that around up the far wall, bring it to center, dump it in from the red line. Johnson leaves it for LaRose. Up the near wall. Duncan able to tip that to center. Puck picked up by Ecker. He moves up the near wall into the Carshield zone, tied up. Picked up by Duncan, then knocked up high. Bouncing puck top of the circle, kicked ahead by Carshield. Now off Groupie. Carshield able to clear. George from center sends that back in. Blues tag up. Carshield stops it behind the net. Blues making a line change. Carshield as well. Now pass ahead through center. Mullen over, shot, pad save, kicked out near side. Puck in the circle, picked up by Blanchard. He'll hand off to Tillett through center across the blue line, floats it in front. Blanchard will curl to the near wall, now send it across ice to Mullen. His shot, pad save, rebound. Knocked away from Tillett. Carshield back at center, Mullen able to poke that away. Carshield gets it back across the blue line now in front. Backhander just wide. Carshield will bank that around Up the far wall, Blanchard over. Carshield able to keep that in. Now down low. Carlson chips it ahead. Now Tillett able to back in at the center. Tudor. He'll go wide to Blanchard. He'll tip that into the corner and go for a change. Cook hops on with Gissy and Gassoff. Carshield out of their own zone. They'll flip that ahead. Down into the Blues end for an icing with 3:40 remaining in the first period. Gassoff on the draw. Carshield wins that back. He'll make it around the far side. Gassoff over with pressure, knocks that down. Tried to send it to Gissy, goes off the skate. Now Cook able to strip it away. Back to Gassoff in the far corner. He's tied up, goes down, gets it to Cook. He'll make it high to Stark from the blue line shot. Just on the near side. Carshield picks that off the near half wall. They'll move it wide in their own zone. Now back to the near side, pass ahead at center. Across the blue line, into the near circle. Toe drag shot, blocked by either Gassoff or Stark, up and over the nets for a whistle. Kluke's out. Carshield wins that back, quick shot. Blockered away by Johnson. Now puck on the near wall. Carshield chips that down low. LaRose after it in the far corner. Try to move it up the wall. Now Stocker will pick it up. He'll come back through center, dump it in from the red line. He'll make out near side. Mantine gets there first. Chips it around to the far side. He'll pick it up himself. Now to LaRose. He'll chip it low. Kluke's behind the nets. Kluke's, he'll track it down in the near corner. Looking for some help. Now Carshield comes in, two guys there. They'll send it up the near wall, bouncing puck. They're able to clear it away to center and backhand that in. They'll change. George in for it. He'll move it to LaRose. Pass ahead, tipped in by Vantine from center. Blues will change it up. Carshield from behind their own net, pass ahead at center, tipped into the blue zone. Carlson back for it. He'll send it over to Mullen. Up the far wall to Groupie. Nicely to Ecker. Bank pass ahead, knocked down by Carshield. Sent back to center, bouncing puck settled by Carlson. He'll dump that in. Puck behind the Carshield net. Ecker with pressure, now sent up the near wall. Carlson pitches down. Able to keep that alive, gets it to Ecker. Ecker in front, tried to find Groupie. Carshield breaks that up. They'll slide it ahead. Mullen at center now. Off the far wall. It just missed Groupie. Picked up by Duncan. Duncan over to Groupie in front of low. Goal! All right, Duncan's second assist of the night sets up Groupie. That'll put Blues up 2-0 with 1:24 remaining in the first period. Tillett, Tudor, and Blanchard and Stark. Face off one back, Stark off the far wall. Blanchard takes a check. Tied up in front of the Carshield bench. Tillett there as well. Three Carshield players, they dig it out, and then Tudor throws a shoulder. Puck moved wide. Into the blue zone. Tudor takes the body. Tillett moves it to Blanchard. Back to Tudor. At center, he'll cut to the middle. Lost the puck. Tillett bouncing puck. He'll settle it. Move it wide to Ullman from the red line. He'll dump that in. Then he'll make its way up the far wall. Blanchard there. Sends it to the corner. Tudor pinned to the wall. Tillett there. Two Carshield players. They got themselves tied up. 40 seconds remaining in the period. Tudor digs it out. Sends it in front. Carshield picks that up. They'll skate it to center, fire it in from the red line to complete their line change. Puck to the far corner, Stark there. He'll stand on it, 25 seconds remaining. Now Carshield Dug it out for a second. Stark gets it back. Now Carshield with it again. Cook defending on the far wall with Gissy. Now Carshield not able to move ahead. Gissy can't clear. Kept it in the blue line. Gissy knocks his man out of the zone along with the puck. Now Gassoff fresh off the bench. Knocked down. Carshield flips that head into the blue zone. Allman sends it behind the net to Stark. Buzzer will go. That'll do it for one. 2-0 Blues. Blanchard and Groupie both from Duncan.
We'll be back in a few.
It used to be. Larry. Yeah, they look good. I knew it was That was the whole loop, though.
back for the start of the second period. 2-0 Blues lead. Johnson in net to our right. Tillett, Duncan, Groupie, Stark, and Ullman will get us going here in the second period. All right, Carshield wins that back. They'll bank it ahead at center. Now into the blue zone, 2-on-2 shot blocked by Stark, picked up by Duncan. He clears it ahead at center, chopped at by Tillett, comes up high. Now bouncing puck into the circle. Carshield settles that. Pressure by Tillett and Groupie. Now Tillett tried to send it to Duncan. He'll sweep it up high. Kept in by Carlson. Now banked ahead. Tillett tried to go wide. Elevated pass knocked down by Carshield. Up from the center. Tillett getting back 2-on-2. Now pass in front off of Carshield's stick to the near corner. Carshield high up to the blue line. Shot high over the net. That'll bounce into the near circle. Carshield in the corner. Shot from the circle goes wide. Now from the far wall. Carshield will move it to the middle now. Into the slot, sent to the far circle. They were changing. Carlson ahead. Off a skate, gets it right back. Now wide to Groupie at center. He'll tip that in. Blues will change. Van Tine in after. Puck sent around to the near wall. Stocker on, able to keep it in. Sent it down low out of Van Tine's reach. Carshield will collect in the far corner. Now move it ahead through center, the length of the ice for an icing. Face-off will come back into the Carshield zone. Kluke, Stocker, Van Tine, LaRose, and George. Kluke's on the face-off. He pushes it forward. Puck down low, sent around near side by Carshield. That'll slide all the way back for another icing call with 18:36 remaining in the second period. All right, Carshield wins the face-off. They'll bank it off the far glass to center. LaRose tried to slide it over to George, just out of his reach in his own zone. Chop low by Carshield, picked up by LaRose. He'll move it ahead to Van Tine. Tried to find Stocker. That went off the Carshield skate. Now puck down low. Carshield sends it up the near wall. Pressure by Van Tine and Kluke's. Kluke's pushes it to the corner. Tries to dance around his man. Carshield picks it up. Able to escape to center now. Tip past George into the blue zone. Carshield will track it down near corner. Send it up the far side. Van Tine over to pick that up. 3-on-3. Blues through center. Across the blue line. Kluke's going to the net. Pass knocked down by Carshield. Blues changing. Carshield will settle things down behind their own net. Now move it up the far side to center. Tipped in off of Stark's glove. That'll trickle in front. Picked up by LaRose. He'll take it behind his own net, then backhand it up the near wall, knocked down by Carshield, and blocked by Cook. Ahead to Gissy. Now Gasoff shot from the slot, went wide. Gasoff gets it back, moves it to Stark. From the point, shot. That missed just wide. That'll bank. Slide back to center, Allman there, flips it high. Knocked down by Gissy. To Gasoff across the blue line, bouncing puck in the slot. Carshield comes away. Blue center. Into the blue zone, now shot. That missed wide. Kept in at the far blue line. Then shot blocked into the near corner. Carshield tried to send that ahead. Stark knocks it down. Now able to move it to Gasoff. He'll flip it high to center. Carshield will regroup from their own zone. Now pass ahead, tipped into the blue zone from center. Johnson, he'll sweep it over to Stark. Up the near wall. Bucket center. Tillett there. Sends it ahead to Blanchard across the blue line. Blanchard near circle shot. Bad save, rebound in front. That whistle's pretty quick. This goalie's having a tough time covering that. Puck was loose for a while. All right, Tillett, Tudor, Blanchard, Mullen, and Carlson. Tillett wins that back. Tudor to Carlson. His shot. Block save. Cleared up the near wall by Carshield. They'll skate back to center, 2-on-2. Mullen and Carlson back. Mullen into the near corner. Carshield sends that low, now picked up by Carlson, and sends it up the wall to Tudor. Trying to send it ahead. Carshield there to stuff that. Now Carlson up the far wall, glove down by Tudor. Ahead to Tillett. His pass hits a Carshield stick, deflects into their zone. They'll take it behind their own net. Now move ahead through center. Shot from the near wall, deflected by Mullen. Now sent low. Mullen after it near corner. Moves it behind the net to George. Up the far wall. Carshield there to knock that down. Now from the corner. Centering pass. Missed the mark. Rudy there. Not able to clear. Now from the blue line. Mullen will pick that up. Bank it off the near glass. Tipped ahead by Tudor. Into the Carshield zone. Groupie in with pressure. And Ecker. Ridden off the puck. Now Groupie on the near wall with Duncan. Duncan into the circle. He'll bank it out to George. From the blue line. Shot. Stick save. Deflected up into the netting. We get a whistle. Carshield will finish their line change. Ecker, Groupie, and Duncan will stay out with George and LaRose. Right off the face-off, bouncing puck in the circle. Carshield off the near glass to center. George sends that right back in. Carshield behind their own net. They'll move it out the far side, up the wall. Carshield player fell, so that'll go for an icing with 14:56 remaining in the second period. Cookies, Van Tine, Stocker, Ullman, and Stark. Carshield with the face-off back. They'll bank that off the far wall to center. Bouncing puck. Ullman sends that back ahead. Hops over Stocker's stick. Carshield will dump it in. Johnson. He'll leave it for Stark. Pressure on him. Carshield strips that away. Now from the near wall. Carshield. They'll center. Shot. Gloved by Johnson. He'll hold. All right, Tillett, gas off, and Gissy. Face off to Johnson's left. Tillett in. He wins that back. Stark sends it behind the net. Out the far side. Chopped at by Carshield. Sent it to the wall by Gasoff. Quick shot. Knocked down side of the net. Stark now tied up. Tillett over. He'll pick it up. Move it to Gissy. Gissy at center. Falls. Pokes it ahead. Carshield on the row blue line off the near wall. 2-on-1 across the blue line. Ullman back. Shot. Johnson's shoulder save. Puck picked up by Tillett. Handed off to Gasoff through center. He lost the handle just outside the Carshield zone. Gissy there. Able to force Carshield low now. They'll escape to center across the red line. Dump that into the near corner. Mullen back for it. Up the near wall. Cook there. Carshield able to keep that in. They'll send it back low now. Mullen again behind his own net. He'll skate it out the far side. Move it ahead. Gas off. Trying to tip that to Cook. Carshield strips it away. Back into the blue zone. Shot glove by Johnson. He'll hold. 13:37 to play in the second period. 2-0 Blues lead. Blanchard and Groupie in the first. Both goals from Duncan. He'll hop on with Blanchard and Tudor. LaRose and George. Duncan wins it back. Rose up the far wall, tipped to center by Tudor. He's 2-on-1 with Blanchard across the blue line. Tudor, shot, save, rebound, loose, Blanchard, goal! His second of the game. That'll put the Blues up 3-0. the face-off, puck picked up by George. He'll dump that in. Tudor, first one in. Carshield up the far wall, knocked down by Duncan. Dug out of his feet, now Blanchard has it. Shot from the circle as he's knocked down. Deflected wide, now up the near wall. Tudor digs it out, throws it in front. Blanchard knocked down again. Duncan reaches in. Taken down on the far wall, puck cleared to center. LaRose over to George. He'll send it back in. Blues making a line change. Play offside, sent up the near wall. Carshield from their own blue line will bank it through center. George, he'll send it right back. Carshield grabs that across the blue line, poked away by Klukes. Shot blocked, now picked up by Stocker. He takes a slash, gets some speed through center now into the far circle. Moves it low. Carshield would have poked that away. He'll send it up the near wall. Stark there, able to keep it alive. Carshield comes over to defend that. Now they'll break out of their own zone. From center, fire it in. It's the side of the net. Allman picks it up. Far circle, off the glass. Well down by Carshield at center. They'll dump that back in. Stark will pick it up as he takes the slash. Behind the net, he's hooked. Now Carshield, side to center. It lifted. Now they'll pick it up on the near side. Work it down low behind the net. Far corner. Sharp angle shot. Johnson there, able to stuff that. Right at the side of the net. 12:01 to play in the second. All right, Tillett, Duncan, Groupie, Stark, and Allman face off to Johnson's right. Tillett in. Carshield pulls that back. Duncan jumps ahead, strips the puck, gets it back to Tillett. He'll bring that through center. Broken up at the blue line. That's in offside. Cook will hop on and replace Ecker and take the face off. Carshield wins that back from their own zone. To center, banked up the near wall. That'll go for an icing. 11:46 remaining in the second period. Cook wins it back. Carshield jumps ahead, picks it up. They'll skate it to center. Groupie gets back into the stick. Carshield gets it back again. Now across the blue line. Groupie's able to break that up. Carshield down the near wall. Cook knocked his man down. He's going to get a tripping call. Puck up high. Comes to center. Sent back in offside. Carshield with it. No offside call. Now Groupie will touch. Whistle will go. All right, Carshield will go on the power play. Cook will go for a trip. .24 remaining in the second. Carshield trailing by 3. Will go on the power play. Mullen, Allman, Tillett, and Gissy on the penalty kill. Face off to Johnson's left. Tillett wins that back. Mullen takes it to the corner. Tied up with 2 guys on him. Tillett there helping. Puck squirts out, poked away by Allman. Carshield gains possession. Now walking top of the near circle. Shot missed on the short side. Shot from the far circle, blocked by Allman all the way back to center. Carshield will retreat back to their own zone and pick it up. Set things up behind their own net now. Push ahead. Through center, pass right along the blue line. They'll set up high. Now deflected away by Gissy. Allman will kick it to the wall. Carshield over, picks it up now. Side of the net, shot, save, goal. Not sure what that is. Johnson got the piece of the first one. I didn't see where it went after that. Carshield able to knock it home on the back post. Pulls them to 3-1 with the power play goal. All right, Kluge, Stocker, Vantine, George, and LaRose. Kluge wins it back. LaRose to George. Back to LaRose from his own zone. He'll send it back to George on the near side. Ahead, Stocker able to tip that in. Carshield up the far wall, just out of Vantine's reach. Kept in at the blue line by LaRose. Now Kluge's along the blue line. He'll backhand that high over the glass into the stands. Whistle will go. All right, Kluge wins it back. George on the blue line. He'll move it down the near wall. Vantine, shot on. Stick save now. Kluge knocks his man off the puck. Stocker in the corner with it. Knocked away behind the net. Carshield up the near wall. George from the blue line ahead to Vantine. Tripped away from him. That'll slide the length of the ice for another icing call with 10:04 remaining in the second period. Tillett, Blanchard, Tudor, Mullen, and Carlson. Carshield wins that to the corner. They'll rim it around up the far wall. Now push it to center, over skate. They get it back. 3-on-3 across the blue line, top of the far circle. Shot, glove save, rebound. Cleared away. Carshield with another shot. Stick save, rebound out to the far corner. Mullen over, he'll bank it up the wall. Tudor tips it to center. Now Blanchard with Tillett across the blue line. Blanchard pulls up. He'll leave it high. That comes to center. Carlson back to Mullen. To Tudor. Tudor. To Carlson across the blue line. He'll move that to the corner. Carshield from the corner flips it up the wall. Bouncing puck into the circle. Picked up by Tillett. That'll make its way behind the Carshield net. They fan on the clearing attempt. Now Tillett there with pressure. Carshield able to escape. Blues changing. Carshield. Stretch pass through center. Tipped into the blue zone. Johnson moves that to center. Gissy tips it ahead. Carshield from their own blue line. Able to set things up now up the near wall. 3-on-3 across the blue line. Carshield drop pass. Gissy got back, breaks that up. Carshield still with it. Now shot, save, rebound. Side of the net picked up by Stark. He'll go off the glass. Bouncing puck kept in at the blue line. Sent in front. Carshield near circle alone. Shot. What a save, Johnson. He'll sweep the rebound to the corner. Now Cook banks it up the wall. Carshield. They'll move it wide. Another shot, pad save. Gas off over. He'll chip it low. Carshield behind the net. Now with it in front. Can't get a shot off. Loose puck. Gas off. His backhander doesn't make it out. Bank down low. Carshield out the far side. Gas off. He'll pick it up. Bring it back to center. Bank that ahead shy of the red line. They're going to say no icing. Blues able to make a change. Carshield from the far corner. Head to center. Tipped into the blue zone. Johnson will stop it behind the net and leave it for Stark. Stark over to Ecker. Around one man, he'll come to center, move it wide. Now sent back out by Carshield. It got past Mullen. He'll race back for it. Carshield gets there first on the near wall. Try to work it into the circle. Puck picked up by George and sent the length of the ice for an icing. All right, Kluge, Duncan, and Groupie. George and LaRose. Kluge wins that back. George off the near glass. That will go down for another icing. .7:31 to play in the second period. 3-1 Blues lead. Klukies wins that over to LaRose. He'll hand off to George, makes it up the near wall. Tipped out by Klukies. Sent into the Carshield zone. Now Carshield back up the far glass. It's a funny hop. Squirts out to the middle. Now Carshield across the Blues blue line. They'll try to backhand that in front. One off George to the center. Now Carshield dumps that back in. They'll tag up, get onside. Now George from behind his own net. Off the near wall to center. Groupie. Wide to LaRose. He'll push ahead into the Carshield zone down the far wall. Send it down low. Blues changing. Carshield behind their own net. Tillett now out with Stocker and Van Tine. Carshield through center ice. Broken up at the blue line by Allman. Now swept ahead by Van Tine. Took up the far wall by Carshield. Now sent to center. Glove down by Allman. He'll send it back in. Blues tag up. Now Tillett in on the forecheck. Sent ahead. Knocked down by Stocker. Stocker near circle. He'll work it low on the far side. Trying to send it in front. Glove down by Tillett. Backhander goes over the goalie out the near side in front of the net. Now Tillett over to cut that off. Stocker comes in, got a stick on it. Now backhanded high. Glove down by Stark. Wide to Allman. Shot blocked. Far side. Van Tine out near corner. High to Stark. Wide to Allman. He'll bank it low out of the reach of Stocker. Now Carshield up the near wall. Cook fresh off the bench. Traps it on the near side. Blues trying to finish their line change. Tudor now on. Puck will trickle out to Stark. Tip past him. Carshield will come to center. Blanchard and Allman back. Carshield will dump it low and go for a change. Allman behind his own net. Pressure coming. He'll move it ahead to Blanchard. Blanchard from just inside his own blue line will turn up ice, get the red line and dump it in. Walk around to the far wall. Carshield there. Pressure by Cook. Blanchard over to help. Tudor lurking in the circle. Comes in looking for the puck. All three Blues there. With three Carshield players. Tudor driven out of the pile. Cook still standing on it. He goes down to one knee, kicks it out near side. Carshield will bank it down low. Now that'll go out of play. The whistle will go. 5:11 remaining in the second. I'm going to get your head on the near corner. Zoom, close zoom to the back of your head there.
Going back on you?
Right? All right, Klukies, Gasoff, and Gissy, George, and LaRose. Look on the far side. Gissy, he'll backhand it low. Carshield from the corner, sends it ahead. Out of the blue zone, now through center ice. They'll dump it into the far corner. LaRose back for it. Curls to the far wall. Ooh, trying to get it to Klukies. Ref was there, now moved up the wall. Gasoff to Gissy, through center. Gissy across the Carshield blue line. Sends it to the middle. Gasoff on his backhand. Puck swept away from him. Now Gissy tied up in the corner. Carshield not able to clear. Kept in by George. Now Gasoff. His shot gloved by the Carshield goalie and held with 4:39 to play in the second period. All right, Ecker, Groupie, and Duncan. George and LaRose face off on the far side. Duncan will take it. He's tied up, loose puck. Cleared away by Carshield. Pass ahead at center, tipped into the blue zone. LaRose up the far wall, knocked down by Carshield. LaRose knocks his man down, now puck pinned against the wall. Ecker there. Chip to the corner, now George. Up the near side, Groupie. Not able to send it up the wall, now Carshield not able to center. Poked away by LaRose. Sent down low, Carshield roll the goal line, sends it up the near wall. Now chip back out the far side. Puck sent up high. Shot in the far wall, pad save. Now a backhander, another pad save. Duncan, he'll collect it off the far wall, move it to center. Groupie now across the Carshield blue line. He'll spin. Waiting for help. Defense is changing on the play. Now Stark at center. He'll fire that in. Up the far wall, Van Tine. Able to move that low. Now Stocker. He'll bank it up to Stark. Wide to Allman. Fans on the shot. Able to keep it in. Puck at his feet. Now squirts out the center. Allman goes down. Tied up. Now Carshield, they'll backhand that wide at center. Across the Blues blue line offside. All right, Tillett, Blanchard, and Tudor with Stark and Allman. Carshield wins that back from the red line. They'll fire it in off Allman's stick. Stark behind his own net. He'll send it up the far wall. Carshield able to keep that alive. Now working to the corner. Pass into the circle. Tied up and cleared out by the Blues. Now Tillett to Blanchard. His stick's lifted across the blue line. Tudor able to backhand it ahead. Carshield with it. They're able to clear. Tillett tips it to Blanchard. Cross ice, Tudor. Shot! Ooh, that missed on the near side. Now Stark to Tillett. To Allman at the blue line. Wide to Tudor on the far wall. He'll back into the corner. Blanchard there. Puck at his feet. He's tied up. Tillett trying to dig it out. 2:28 to play in the period. Allman will change. Mullen hops on. Now Stark will go off. Carlson hops on. Tudor headed off. Vantine now on. Now puck squirts out. Carlson from the point shot block. Tillett plucks that, spins. Goes that high and wide. Now Carshield from the near wall. They'll send it ahead at center. Across the Blues blue line to the middle. Puck loose. Picked up by Blanchard. Now to Klukies. Picked up by Vantine at center. He'll gain the blue line. Now to Mullen. He's pushed from behind. Puck squirts over to Stocker. He'll walk that into the middle. Stocker, shot. Oh, that hit a Carshield player's knee and deflects wide. Now Carshield clear to center. Mullen back for it in his own zone. He'll move it near side. Stocker up the wall to Vantine across the blue line. Vantine to Klukies. In front. Puck poked away from him. Carshield picks that up. They'll turn up ice. Bring it back through center. Push that toward the net, tipped wide. Mullen shoved into the net. Like that trailing Carshield player shoved the whole pile into Marcus. He's down for the moment. The refs are going to discuss. Marcus back to his feet. Trying to skate it off. Looks like it might be that left leg. We had 4 of them fall on him. 2 Blues, 2 Carshield. Face-off will stay in the Blues zone. 1:19 to play in the third, or second. 3-1 Blues lead. Tillett, Groupie, and Duncan, Carlson, and Mullen. Face-off far side, Tillett. There, Carshield wins it back from the blue line. They'll move it near side. Now shot. Save. Johnson will hold. All right, Allman will come on and replace Carlson. Tillett will take the face off. He wins it back cleanly. Mullen off the near glass, tipped out by Duncan. Loose puck at center, pushed ahead by Carshield. Picked up by Allman. He'll move wide to Groupie across the blue line. Pressure on him. He's taken to the wall. Carshield able to push ahead. Now Mullen will send it right back. Carshield has it just inside their own blue line. Pass up high, knocked down by Groupie. Now settled at center. Carshield not able to move it up the wall. Get it back. Now into the blue zone. Sent on, blockered away by Johnson. Carshield chipped that down low, puck behind the net. Mullen chips that to the corner. Racing after it now up the wall. It hits Tillett in the back. Bucks over to Baldwin, moves it ahead to Groupie. Now wide to Duncan through center. He'll chip it ahead. Groupie after it in the corner. Throws a shoulder in there, puck in his feet. He overskated it. Now Carshield able to break it out to center, poked away by LaRose. Cook tracks it down in the far corner, moves it up the near wall. LaRose, he'll collect. Now move ahead out of his own zone. Cross center, bank it in. That'll deflect toward the net. Goes just wide now. Gas off with pressure, strips it away. His pass hit his skate and went wide at the buzzer. We'll go to the second intermission. Blues up 3-1. Hey, Lori. All right, back out for the start of the third period. Tillett, Duncan, and Groupie. Allman and Stark. Johnson in net to our left. Blues 3-1 lead. All right, Carshield controls off the opening draw up the far wall. They'll gain the blue line. Now pull up top of the circle. Shot deflected high by Stark. Now up the near wall. Puck comes to center. Tillett. He'll pick it up 2-on-1 across the blue line. Tillett. Oh, puck knocked away from him in the near circle. Now Duncan comes in. Carshield able to move it up the near wall. Now they'll skate ahead through center. Dump that in from the red line. That'll bounce to Johnson. He'll settle it. Leave it for Stark. Up the far wall. That'll find Groupie. He'll tip it out to Tillett. Swept away. Groupie gets it back. Head to Duncan at center. Puck at his feet. He's got it tied up in front of the Carshield bench. Cookies and Stocker hopped on with Mullen and Carlson. Carshield comes out of it. They'll move ahead from their own zone through center. Dump that in. Johnson behind his own net. He'll leave it far side. Mullen. Now to Carlson. Pass ahead at center. Knocked down by Stocker. Settled by Carshield. They'll move back up ice into the blue zone across the blue line. Shot deflected wide. Mullen in the corner after it. Carshield will send it low. Tried to center. Carlson knocks that away. Now Mullen with it. He'll flip ahead to center. Chipped away from Van Tye. Now picked up. Carshield back into the blue zone. Shot missed on the near side. Now follow-up shot blocked by Carlson. His clearing attempt knocked down now from the blue line. Sent in front. Mullen quickly ahead to Stocker. He'll backhand it in from the red line. Blues changing. Carshield from behind their own net. They'll skate ahead. Pass head to the Blues. Blue line tips up into the ceiling. Face-off will stay outside the blue zone. No, you're fine. All right, Cook, gas off Gissy. George and LaRose. All right, LaRose wide to George ahead. There to say Gissy got a stick on that, so no icing. Now Carshield from behind their own net, overskated, gas off. Trying to go to Cook. That'll slide up high. George trying to keep it at the blue line. Now Carshield back. Gissy gets back, lifts the stick, pokes the puck away. George will collect. Move it up the near wall, picked up by Gasoff. He'll skate the center. Blues changing. Overskated at the blue line. Carshield moves to the center. LaRose. He'll flip that in. Now Tillett in. Sends it in front. Carshield grabs that and moves it to the near wall. Now we'll flip it high to center. Kicked ahead by Allman. Picked up by Tudor. He'll find some space. Now move it wide to Stark. Back near side, poked away by Carshield. Allman gets back, knocks his man down. Now puck down low. Tudor will send it to Stark. Not able to send it up the wall. Carshield grabs that. They'll send it back to the near corner. Allman over with pressure, knocks his man down. Carshield hops back up, makes it down low. Now spins away from Tillett. From the near half wall, they'll curl back to the corner. Looking in front, now in front. Picked up by Stark. He moves it ahead to Tudor. Knocked down at the blue line, kept in by Carshield. Now Stark back for it. Up the near wall, Tudor. He'll go wide. Blanchard. He'll dump it in from the red line. Carshield back. They'll move it quickly to center. Tipped into the blue zone. Carlson back for it. Up the near wall. That'll slide back through center ice into the Carshield zone. They'll regroup from their own end. Now pass ahead. Knocked down at center. Sent back into the Carshield zone. They'll try up the near wall. That's off Carlson. Into the corner. Mullen back. Up the far wall to Groupie. Now pass deflected at center. Carshield will send that back shy of the red line. That will go for an icing. 16-17 to play in the third period. 3-1 Blues lead. First period goals by Blanchard and Groupie, I think, from Duncan, and then, Tudor. And then Blanchard and Groupie in the first, Blanchard from Tudor in the second. All right, Carshield dumps that into the blue zone, chipped up the near wall. Carshield will rim it around, up the far side. Now chipped into the circle. George there. Sends it ahead. Stocker got a stick on it. Carshield still with it. On the far wall. They'll pin it there. Klukies comes over. Now puck squirts out. Move to the blue line. Now back on the far wall. Stop pressure by Stocker. Puck squirts out to Van Tine. He'll bring it to center across the blue line. Try to go wide. Now Klukies on his backhand. Sent that through the crease out the near side. Carshield behind their own net. They'll break out of their own zone. Flip it high through center ice. Go for a change. Allman. He'll take it behind his own net. Now move it quickly to center. Tipped in by Gissy. Cook on the forecheck. Carshield up the near side. Gissy grabs that. Went in front off Cook's stick, deflected wide. Now kept it at the far side by Stark. He sends that down low. Gissy after it on the near wall. Kept it at the blue line by Cook. Carshield settles it. They'll push ahead to center. Into the blue zone. Cross ice pass. Shot blocked by Olin. Looked up high. That'll come to center. Knocked down by Gassoff. He'll try to split the D. He's knocked down. Carshield player falls. Able to slide that to center. Now Blanchard on with pressure. Carshield through center with speed down the left side. Drives into the circle now, trying to stuff it on the near post. Marcus Johnson will cover that with his blocker. With 14:35 remaining in the third period. Tillett, Blanchard, Tudor, Mullen and Carlson. Face off to Johnson's right. One back, Carlson off the near glass. That'll come to center. Carshield with it. They'll send it in from the red line. Johnson will stop it behind the net. Carlson there takes a hit up high. Now puck. That did front. That'll squirt out the center. Tudor in a race for it. Puck poked away by Carshield. Now on the far wall. Carshield will rim it all the way around. Pick it up on the near side. Deflected to center. Carlson able to knock that down. Sent right back. Now Carshield across the Blues blue line. Blanchard gets back to break that up. Carshield dumps it low. Mullen after it, far corner. Throws a shoulder in there. Now Carshield able to work it low. Tillett there, knocks his man down. Carshield player falls on the puck. Mullen digging away for it. All right, puck finally squirts out. Carlson off the near glass. That'll bounce through center. Blues will change. Carshield will pick it up. Turn it quickly back up ice, took it ahead. Carlson, he'll send it wide, kicked in by Carshield. Now LaRose with pressure in the far corner. He's tied up, sends it to the near side. Carlson over for it. Nice pass ahead to Cook. Through center ice, across the blue line wide to Groupie. His shot missed the near post. Makes up high and comes to center. LaRose there. Break that up on the near wall now. Duncan. George ahead to Groupie. He'll chip it in on net, or he'll leave it. Carshield picks it up on the near side. They'll flip it high through center. George from his own zone sends it back ahead. Carshield from the red line will send it in, tag up. Now George behind his own net. He'll hit the brakes. To LaRose on the near wall, pass at center. Duncan tied up. Carshield able to send that back in. Now George back for it. Up the far wall. Carshield will grab that. Now to the corner. Nobody in front. George defending. Now Cookies takes his man to the wall. George digging away, trying to pull the puck out. Cookies got it tied up in his feet. Now it squirts out. LaRose over to pick that up. He's taken to the wall on the far side. Cookies again with it tied up between his feet. Able to move it to George, now to Duncan. Back to Klukies, through center ice. He'll chip it in. Stocker in the far corner. Now Van Tine to Klukies in the slot. Shot, goal! Klukies from Van Tine puts the Blues up 4-1. 11:56 remaining in the third period. Tillett, Gissy, and Tillett, Gissy, and Vantine now. Off the face-off. Buck along the Carshield blue line. They'll push ahead at center, dump it in. Johnson stops it behind the net, backhands it to the near corner. Carshield there. They'll send it back down low. Now Stark. He'll collect in the far corner, flip it off the glass. That'll come to center, sent back in by Carshield, picked up by Allman. Ahead to Tillett across the blue line. Tillett works to the corner. Spins off a check, leaves for Vantine. He's stripped of the puck. Carshield able to clear the zone. Stark, he'll fire that back in. That'll bank to the far corner. Now Carshield will bring it through center ice. Knocked away by Blanchard at the blue line, picked up by Tudor. To Cook, he'll chip it into the near corner, chase after it. It's in there with pressure. Now puck behind the net. Tudor there to break that up, but up the far wall. Carshield able to clear the zone. Cook got back to intercept that. He'll bank it in. Carshield behind their own net. Now pass ahead, tipped in from center, up and over the glass. Face-off should come back in front of the Carshield bench. Maybe it'll be in center, I suppose. All right, Ecker now on with Duncan and Groupie. George and LaRose. Carshield has it off the face-off. They'll fire that in from center. George up the near wall. Duncan able to chip that to center. They'll slide back into the Carshield zone. That's back that through center, tipped into the Blues zone for an icing call. Shy of the red line. 10:27 remaining in the third period. All right, Ecker on the face-off. They're going to toss him out. Duncan will come in. He pulls it back. Ecker to LaRose. Now in the circle, Groupie. Cross ice. Ecker. Up high. George back to Ecker. His pass finds Duncan. Shot blocked. Kept in by LaRose at the blue line. Carshield. They'll send it back to center. Dump it in from the red line. Johnson stops it behind the net. He'll leave it for George. He'll spin away from some pressure, move it near side to LaRose. Pass ahead to Duncan at center. Tipped. That hit a Carshield player, so no icing. Puck near corner. Carshield moves it up the wall. They'll skate it out of their own zone. 3-on-3 through center. Dump that in from the red line. Stark back to retrieve it in the corner. He'll backhand it around to the near side. Vantine over. Now Allman. He'll backhand that to center. Carshield jump ahead. Fire it back in. Stark in. Play was offside. All right, Kluge's Vantine and Stocker, Allman and Stark. Neutral zone face off. One back to Allman. He'll work it up the near wall. Puck chopped away from him. Now Stocker across the blue line. He'll cut into the circle on the backhand. Not able to get a shot off. Now from the corner. Puck knocked away. Vantine got a stick in there. Now strips it away at the blue line. Gets it to Kluge's. Shot! Oh! Blocker saves. Stocker knocked down in front with a slash. Goes into the post. Let's say face-off will come outside. See how they did call a slashing penalty. I didn't think they called it. The Blues will go on the power play. Blues power play with 9:11 remaining in the third, up 4-1. They'll send out Tillett, Duncan, Blanchard, Tudor, and LaRose. right, Carshield wins the face-off. They tried to rim it around, but Duncan got a stick in there. Puck goes over the glass. Face-off will stay deep in the Carshield zone. All right, Tillett wins that back. Tudor. To LaRose. Back to Tudor. Top of the far circle, side of the net. Oh! Duncan tried to center it. Goes off a Carshield stick. Up and over the goalie's shoulder for a power play goal. Duncan with his third point of the night. Goal and a pair of assists. It's the Blues up 5-1. All right, Cook, Gassoff, and Gissy. George and LaRose. Carshield with it at center. 3-on-3 across the Blues blue line. In front, puck tipped wide. Gassoff will collect off the near wall, bring it back to center. Bank that into the Carshield zone and chase after it. Puck behind the net. Sent up the far wall by Carshield. They'll escape the center. LaRose back for it in his own zone. He falls in the near corner. Cook over. Not able to move it up the wall. Now LaRose chips it ahead. Cook got a stick in there. Now Gassoff able to send it low to LaRose. He's got a little time. He'll bring it out from behind his own net. Now ahead to Gassoff at the blue line. Not able to escape. Now LaRose wide to George. He'll flip it high. That'll come down in the Carshield zone. Blues changing. Carshield behind their own net with 8:10 to play in the third. Not able to clear it ahead. That's knocked down by Duncan and sent back in. Carshield back for it. They'll reverse to the near side now. Pass ahead at center. Broken up by Mullen. Collected by Groupie. He'll turn up ice. 3-on-3 across the blue line. Groupie drives wide. Now behind the net. Out the far side. He'll send it to Mullen at the blue line. Tried to send that to Ecker. That goes off his stick now. Carshield will come back to center. Play broken up by Carlson. Collected by Carshield. They'll regroup from their own zone. Pass ahead into the blue zone. Centering pass tipped away by Mullen. Far circle shot. Glove saved by Johnson. 7:22 to play in the third. Blues up 5-1. Klukies, Vantine, and Stocker will hop on. Defense will stay. Face-off will be to Johnson's left. Klukies in to take it. Up to the far wall. Mullen over. He'll bank that up high and out to center. Carshield from their own blue line. The near wall blue zone. Puck comes back to center. Now dumped in. Johnson will settle it. Hand it off to Mullen. He'll bring it out the near side. Backhander up the wall. That'll go through center. All the way down for an icing call with 6:58 remaining in the third period. Tillett, Blanchard, and Tudor. Stark and Allman face off to Johnson's right. Carshield won it back. Tudor jumps ahead, picks it up. He's 1-on-2. Across the blue line, tried to send it low. That hits the referee. Now Carshield up the far wall. They'll let it just slide through center. That'll roll all the way back to Johnson. He'll leave it for Allman. Up the near side. Carshield there to keep it in. Now try to send it in front. They'll work it from the near corner. Pressure by Allman. Now Stark knocked down. Carshield with it. Trying to send it in front. Fanned on the pass. Stark backhands that off the near wall to center. Carshield back from their own zone. They'll go D to D. Pass ahead at center. Into the blue zone. Carshield behind the net. Out the near side. They'll backhand it to the far wall. Pressure by Gissy. Knocks his man down. Carshield there trying to dig it out. They come out. Whistle goes hand past the call. Face-off will come outside the blue zone. 6:04 to play in the third period. 5-1 Blues lead. Cook, Gassoff, and Gissy out with George and LaRose. Cook tied up. Gissy moves ahead, picks up the puck. Good backhand in, that's offside. Delayed call, Blues will clear the zone. Now Carshield will move ahead. Across the red line into the blue zone, they'll chip it low. George back, takes his man to the wall. Cook comes in. Puck comes out the near side, Gassoff. He'll pick that up, skate it out of his own zone, now through center. Wide pass to Groupie. Now in the corner, puck behind the net. Carshield up the near wall, Blues changing behind the play. Now Carshield from their own zone. They'll skate to center. Pass ahead shy of the red line, should have been an icing. They're gonna say no. Now Carlson back for it. Up the far side, Groupie. He'll flip it high to center. Carshield knocks that down. Sends it right back, knocked down by Groupie. Now Duncan on the far wall. Sweeps that ahead in center. Now Groupie tips it ahead to himself, 1-on-2. Duncan joining the play. Puck goes off his skate, comes back to center. Now Carshield. They'll move ahead into the blue zone. Shot. Blocked by Johnson into the corner. Now sent up the wall. Carshield from the half wall works it to the corner. Now centering pass. Carshield not able to get a shot off. Johnson pokes that away now. Far wall, Duncan will backhand that high to center. They say that hit somebody on the Blues bench. Whistle will go. Face off will stay in the blue zone. They'll send out some fresh skaters. Kluke's Vantine, Stocker, Stark and Allman face off to Johnson's left. Carshield wins it back. Pressure from Vantine, able to knock that to center. Carshield will send it back in. Stark back for it. Near side Allman, pressure on him. He'll move it ahead. Vantine not able to settle it. Allman gets it back. He'll flip it high to center. Allman knocks his man down behind the play. Now Kluke's at center. It's off the far wall. Now Stocker. Also in front of his own bench. Kluke takes his man to the wall. Now Stark. He'll flip it ahead. Stocker tips that to center. Carshield centers, sends it back in. That's offside. Delayed call now. Back onside. Stark to Allman on the near side. Pass ahead to Tudor. Now Tillett. Back to Tudor across the blue line. Carshield able to clear that back out. Allman will send it in off the referee. Carshield clears the zone. LaRose will send it back down low. Carshield back forward in the near corner. They'll send it behind their own net. Skated out the far side with 3:23 remaining in the third period. Now George not able to clear. Carshield didn't cut into the circle. George knocks that away. Now Blanchard able to clear. Puck picked up by Tillett. On the near wall, he pulls up, dodges a check, trying to send it ahead to Tudor. Carshield there to collect it, sends it up the wall. Now LaRose. Knocked down. Gissy. He'll bank it low. Puck far corner. Tudor in. Carshield sends that to center. George there. He'll send that back ahead. That'll a little late to the ice for an icing with 2:51 remaining in the third period. 5-1 Blues lead. Cook, Gassoff, and Gissy, Mullen, and Carlson. Face-off will be to Johnson's left. Cook. Face-off one back by Carshield. He'll backhand that on. Bad save by Johnson. Now puck on the near wall. Cook knocks this man down. Puck cleared up and out by Carlson. That'll slide down for another icing with 2:36 to play. Carshield wins the face-off back. Mullen got ahead, able to clear it out. Two gas off down the near wall into the corner. He's tied up. Carshield able to dig it out with 2:24 to play in the period. They'll skate that through center. Pushed off the puck by Carlson. He takes a stick up high. Whistle goes. Penalty coming for a cross check. Blues will go on the power play with 2:16 remaining in the third period. Cross checking the call. All right, Blues power play. Ecker, Duncan, and Groupie, Carlson, and George face off on the near side. Duncan wins that back cleanly. Carlson from the blue line. He'll send it to Duncan. Shot, save. That hit the goalie up high again. Now behind the net off Groupie's stick into the near corner. He'll send it to Ecker. Do Carlson quickly over to George. Back to Carlson. His shot. Goalie got a piece of that with his blocker. Now Ecker. Back to George. Near side Carlson. Duncan taking some cross checks in front. Now Groupie to George straight away. Shot tipped high over the glass into the netting. Whistle goes. 1:40 to play in the third period. 1:24 remaining in the Blues power play. Cook, Gassoff, and Gissy will hop on. Carshield wins the face-off. They'll rim that around the near side. Now, Carshield away one-on-one, George back. Puck's in front. Johnson with another poke check. Puck goes up and over the net. Now quickly moved ahead to Cook. He'll skate through center, 4-on-2 across the blue line. Gassoff, toe dragged in the middle. Puck knocked away from him. Carshield able to clear. Allman, fresh off the bench. He'll pick the puck up behind his own net with 1:13 to play in the third period. Now Gassoff cross ice to Gissy. In front, off Stark's stick. That'll trickle wide. Now Gassoff checked in the corner. Carshield not able to clear. Gissy to Gassoff in front. Tried to stuff it 5-hole. So he had his stick there. Now Carshield able to clear the zone. That'll slide back to Johnson with 34 seconds remaining in the Blues power play. 46 seconds now remaining in the third period. Mullen behind his own net. He'll move it ahead. It's out of the reach of Ecker. Carshield will send that back in. Johnson will leave for Carlson. He'll move it to Mullen. Mullen now ahead to Ecker. 3-on-2 across the blue line. To Groupie. The centering pass finds Tillett. Puts it in front. Carshield goalie able to cover with 20 seconds remaining in the third period. Four seconds remaining in the Blues power play. All right, Blanchard will come on to replace Duncan. Ecker will take the face-off. Puck one back, Mullen from the blue line to Carlson. Carshield out of the box. Shot blocked now, Blanchard. His shot's blocked. Puck trickles away from Ecker. Carshield. They'll come away at center. Into the blue zone. Now sent in front. Carlson there. Step in front of that with 3 seconds to play. He'll clear the zone. That'll do it. Blues 5-1 winners.
won the game, we just stayed home.
You just stayed home, huh? Save the gas money, huh?
It's like an overnight game.
I didn't know I was going to do it, so I got 6 she's at home. So he asked me about being at February 7th.
Yeah.
So she told Austin because he just got off work.
Tune in.
It's a shame to see Carshield season end like that.
Can I unplug this?